So far, the crew has cleared every hurdle naysayers have placed in their way. Columbus would be home to one of the 10 inaugural teams. Columbus has outperformed much larger cities. The true success indicator has been from the fans.
Well, it's going night out. And don't you know we're gonna scream it?
Hello and welcome to the club. Third time's a charm. I'm your host, Mars, and this is the Upper 90 Club, a roundtable podcast where five friends discuss the Columbus Crew.
I made it.
Yeah, Ben was late before, and we finally got started, and then he joined, so we had to restart, and now that we're talking about it, we may as well have just kept going. But we review last Saturday's 2-1 win over the Jersey Devils. Who saw that coming?
Yep.
We look ahead to a two-game week, first away in Miami and then back at home against NYCFC. NYCFC. Is that how you say it?
NCFCYC?
Are we gonna do another show this week?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, we're gonna cram it all in here on this one. So, let's see.
Let's cram it in there. Let's cram
Cramsy.
it. Good call.
Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Upper 90 Club Pod and watch the clips, the sport clips. Can we trademark that? Sport
Yeah.
clips on YouTube.
That's where Trey and I used to get our
90
haircut, full circle.
Upper 90 Club.
Yeah.
With me in the club are Ben, Trey, Mort, and Haas. Say hello.
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 How you been?
Ahoy, hoy.
Let's go.
I said that out of my usual order, and it kind of threw me off. Okay, so here's what I want to talk about.
Tell
First thing that we need to talk about is New York Red Bull. I was filling my family in on what happened last night because I was the only one who stayed up to watch the game, last night being Saturday when we played the team. And I got questioned on saying Red Bull. Is it Red Bull?
Yeah, I was just going to ask
Singular.
It is Red Bull.
That's what I was saying. Because it's like...
Is
it's
it?
Red
It's
Bulls.
like... Well,
no.
no.
What's on the
Singular.
jersey?
Because it's like... Isn't Red Bull like a whole... Like it's a global brand.
Yeah, it's a brand.
And not like
No,
the
it says-
drink.
it says
like,
Red-
I mean, like
Oh, wait.
the family of teams. It's like Red
Yeah.
Bull Leipzig or Red Bull.
Well, they
New
also
York.
have... Yeah, I think they're also... Because I just started the F1 thing. I think they're like an F1 team. As well as...
Curling?
Yes. F1 curling. F stands for curling. It's a silent F.
Okay.
Well,
Their
I'm looking
website
on their
is
jersey, though, it says-
NewYorkRedBulls.com.
Right, but,
So
but
let's
their
just
logo, their
I know.
crest,
It just
is
says Red Bull.
New York Red Bull.
Yeah, because you drink a Red Bull, that's the brand.
Not if you drink
I
more
guess
than
what
one.
I'm saying is like, can you say we played
You drink
Red
a couple Red
Bull
Bulls.
last night, or do you have to say Red Bulls? That's my question.
I have
I
one
think
Red
it's
Bull, I have
singular.
many Red Bulls.
For me.
There's
so
11
each
players.
player
It's
is a Red Bull,
a Red Bull.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's got to be.
an 11.
We got to the
pack.
bottom of it.
An 11 pack. Okay.
And we are just a crew.
Depending on subs.
We're not individuals. We're always a crew.
Yeah, we played the
So-
Cruise last night.
Yep.
Cruz
Yeah,
Azul.
That's a good point.
We got the Cruz
Ah, you-
Amarillo. All
Blowing
right.
my mind.
Okay. Well, that was what
The
I wanted to talk
Cruisers
about.
was a bunch of...
Cheerleaders.
It would, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, they were good.
So,
well.
I wonder, man, do they make like 2 liters of Red Bull?
I hope not.
Ooh, I wish.
Pretty sure that's
More than
illegal.
1 liter, that's a Red Bulls.
Okay. All right.
Have I drank about 2 liters of Red Bull? Yeah.
Hey, yeah. So we
You
were
need to go to
talking
the
a lot
hospital.
about the weather going into last night's game, but it held off. I mean, I wasn't there, but I saw the game occurred. Right. How was the game last night, guys?
It was good. Good energy in the
it
stadium.
was.
They said it was over 20,000 people. Wait, so now, is this a record? Let's talk attendance real fast, because this has been just wonderful. Like, what is
9
this, 10 in a row
sellouts,
or something like that
8
sold out?
in a
Is this,
row.
is this
9.
continuing to be a record?
9 sellouts, 8th in a row.
Ben.
Okay. So I'm talking about the future. Nailed it.
No,
Got
but
it.
also
Sweet.
there's another one that they're pre-sold out for New York.
And probably
I believe it.
Is
Cincinnati.
it really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that to be true,
Oh,
but I've
Cincinnati,
heard that
definitely.
the New York game was sold out. And yeah, I'm sure they will sell out the Cincy game. It's just so far away. It's like at the end of August, right? So,
Yeah.
um,
Tis a
Okay.
silly time.
all right. Also, the weather was okay.
Held off. It was good.
Yeah, it held off. It wasn't too. It was hot, but it wasn't like awful. It was fine.
Yeah. Okay. It wasn't like
Was it humid? Like in the,
It's,
in
it's
the
a
stadium?
little sticky, but it wasn't too bad actually. I've been at much worse at that stadium.
okay.
It was a little
Okay.
breezy at times, and it helped.
All right, cool.
Yep.
Okay. Well, let's jump into it. Lineups, Haas, go through those. I missed.
Well, for the crew, there were no changes from last
so,
week.
yeah, what-
Same
what stood
as
out?
last game.
Hernandez, Ramirez, Zelarayan, Yaboa,
But,
Nagby,
I mean,
Matan, Farsi,
what?
Amundsen, Morera, Zawadski, and Schulte. And we had
Yeah.
4 actual center backs on the bench.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
That's what I was gonna say.
Has Quentin been riding
Yeah.
the bench since he
Yep.
got benched? I can't recall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I saw him in the post game. He was very prevalently displayed in the post game.
Yeah.
Fools rush in.
He's a break glass in case of emergency.
Not
type
only
thing.
did we
Okay.
have a bench full, we also had one introduced before the game. So our new
They introduced
signing.
the new guy,
Yep, he was.
Yep.
He was there.
Nice.
Sherbilko.
Oh, wow! You jumped into it. I didn't even want to try.
Sounded right.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure that's a
I-
Bond villain, but I was close.
Okay.
I feel like I'm close. I
Okay.
feel like I'm real close.
Okay. All right. So, what'd you think, guys? I mean, coming out, it felt like a strong start. What'd you think?
I don't know. I thought we came out kind of flat. I thought the entire first half was like just slow. And it was slow because I firmly believe the way we play, I mean, even the way Porter played just doesn't play well, or it really meshes with how Red Bull wants to play. Like, it's never just on paper before the game, the announcers were like, oh yeah, the way the crew play, like through and fast, this is going to be a high scoring game. They're going to dominate. And I was like, I don't think so. Every time we play New York, it's tough. Like, it's a tough
It's
game.
always tight.
Yeah, and like other teams press, but this, for whatever reason, Red Bull's press we struggle with, no matter what team we have out there. Like, you know, we all said, or I was saying before the game, like, oh yeah, we have Morera in the back and Zawadski and Amundsen, and they're really good with their feet, but even they were like struggling. You know, Nagby had dropped back, he was struggling, and it was just kind of like they either weren't finding space. What did you guys see at the game? Was I crazy thinking it was like kind of frustrating and slow, or was it? But I couldn't
Before they
diagnose
chime
it.
in,
You know what I mean?
we had overwhelming control of the ball. I want to justify what I said. We had overwhelming control of the ball, and I didn't feel like there were any points of threat from Red Bull to our team. So that, I guess that's kind of what I meant by strong start.
They weren't dangerous.
But,
Yeah, they weren't dangerous, but they definitely interrupted the way we like to play. And there was some inaccuracies. It was felt slow. You can really tell it was a little frustration in the crowd too. We didn't really get anything really going, and pretty much all game, I would say, except for the couple of chances in the goals. I mean, there was very little created on our end in that game.
But
then
was
again-
that, my question is, and I couldn't figure this out. I think Haas, you watched it again. Was it the front three just weren't like snappy and tight, or was it something the Red Bull was doing? Because I felt like it was a little of both, but mainly like Zelly seemed flat. Cucho, had his energy, but there was just nobody with him, and Ramirez just felt a little off. That's like what I gathered when I was.
It felt like
watching
there
it.
were periods of the game where Zelarayan would disappear. I guess all 3 of them would disappear for periods of the game, and then a quick moment where we look good and we make something happen.
Maybe like it wasn't a lot of moving off the ball or creating space. It just kind of seemed like when we got the ball, it was sketchy kind of in the back, but once like Matan got it or Nagby was able to break that first line, he would pick his head up and there wasn't anybody really running off the ball to create space for one another. And that we've been doing that for forever. And it just felt like this was just one of those games where they're like, yeah, we're just off today. Like,
and they were physical, borderline dirty. And I think they probably got away with a little bit more than they should have. There was an example where we played off from the back to hit Nagby on one of those, try to play ourselves out. And it was like a late clipping of him. No card, not a free kick, nothing. We got a free kick a little further up. That happened
to Nagby like
those
3
things.
or 4 times.
And I think Zelrayan got a taste of that too. They took Zelrayan out of this game. He was not very involved in this game at all. He had his moments, of course. He has a little bit of magic here and there, but for him, it was an extremely quiet night. It was an off night as Zelrayan, and I think that probably played a part in how much we created. But at the same time, we know that there's going to be tight between these two teams. To put in context, we played them 7 times since COVID, and the score is 10-10. It's always like 2-1, 2-1, home and away, and it's always just a 1-goal win. We know there's going to be a battle for every point, and it was that way when we played them earlier this season as well.
I saw that with Lucas, like he wasn't doing the highlight reel type play, right? I mean, he was playing fine, but in times where you'd expect him to kind of break some ankles or
or try something.
Yeah, try something. Yeah. You just didn't really see it.
I think it was just an off night, and that's okay.
Yeah, that's what I felt.
I don't. We can get into the goal. I think before the goal there was a near goal. Was
14th
I
minute?
think it was Ramirez, the offside call from Schulte.
Oh, there was that, but there was also in the 14th minute, Zelrayan kind of faked someone out and found Matan streaking down the field. And Matan's shot was saved, but we continued to possess the ball, and I think we even got a corner after that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but the one that was called offside, I mean, it's no factor now, but he needs to put that one away.
Yeah. That was kind of my takeaway. It didn't actually look offside to me. I mean, I just choose to believe that it was because they looked at it and said that it was, but. Man, how do you not put that in?
Yeah,
but I feel like he normally does. He's been scoring goals like that, getting the ball at his foot inside the 18 and putting it away. So it was when I saw that, I was like, oh, another person having an off night. Like the good news about our team, especially with Matan on the field, is you can have one guy off and still do well. But it felt like everybody was flat, and I was like, boy, this is gonna be a long game if everybody's kind of like, meh. Like,
I guess Yeboah did the highlight reel kind of stuff. He had a couple of moves out there again that is like, where did this come from?
Where did he come from?
Well, Yeboah and Farsi both had. They both had solid games.
Yeah, Farsi
streaking
too.
Up. That's where we were finding our space, was out wide.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So goal happened pretty quick, 19th minute. Oz, you want to go through that?
Yep. The Crew had a spell of possession there, and Moreira plays the ball to Farsi, who plays a quick ball to Ramirez, and then finds Matan out wide right. Matan squares up with Duncan. He cuts to the right towards the end line. At the same time as that's happening, Cucho beats Reyes and makes a run near post. Matan passes it to Cucho. He flicks it between Miguel's legs. I didn't notice it was a nutmeg until rewatching it. But yeah, backhill little twist.
It was like between his legs too, right? It was like a plant foot heel flick.
It's like a banner shot.
Yeah.
There's been a replay that's been on like Instagram
but
and Twitter,
he hits the ball and doesn't fall.
Where you see Matan cutting down and cutting in. You see that angle, how he you can really clearly see the move, and it's nice.
Yeah,
it's a very nice
Matan
goal.
kind of had a game. Yeah.
On
first viewing, I thought when it went between his legs and it went in, he didn't even look back that he scored it. It looked like he just did it and was walking off the field like he had just hit a grand slam, just no big deal. I just did that. It looked so just relaxed, cool, did that. All right, cool, here we go. It was classy. Like it was
Yeah.
super classy.
Even MLS
Well, good on
posted
Cucho.
something about him being on fire. How he's been in the last 7-8 games or whatever. It's been unbelievable. Involved in
Yeah,
a
I
ton
think
of
it's
goals.
a goal
A
or an
goal
assist
and or an assist
in the past.
in the last 11
10
games. Nashville, he didn't
Yeah,
have
and.
anything.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Slacker.
Yeah. Yeah. And there was a lot of posts like, and no MLS All-Star call up. And I'm like, I don't really care. I don't want him to get hurt.
That's
Yeah.
politics.
So
yeah, for sure.
So, what about after the goal? Did we get better? Did we get worse? What do you think? What was the second half of the first half like?
It's slowed down. Since you use those
Second
terms, I just
quarter of
assume you're, it slowed down. It kind of slowed down. I feel like we were doing more of that, standing kind of on the ball a little bit, knocking it around from the back, and then they obviously put on a little bit more pressure after that too, and get much more aggressive and kind of committed more people forward too. So I think it was a combination of us kind of taking the foot off the pedal and them kind of feeling, okay, we need to get a goal.
I saw a graphic at
Yeah.
some point. It was toward the beginning of the game, probably before the goal, that said 76% crew. So yeah, it was.
Yeah.
They were just kind of holding it, slow playing. It wasn't as if
It was really 70%
70,
at some
76.
point.
Yeah,
It could have been that by
Yeah, it
half
was
because
high
that
when you
really
saw it.
not
changed.
No,
at half.
it-
Not at half.
Yeah, but even in the 65th minute, it was 70-30.
I find that so hard to believe because I was saying
wa-
at
it was-
halftime, I can't remember last time we've been outplayed like that.
I don't necessarily agree
Agree.
with the take that this game was. I think this was just more of a dogfight, that we held possession a little bit better.
Yeah.
And it got gritty, but I don't think we played that bad. I think you just had a team that was
No.
doing the high press, doing the things that they know they're not as talented. They're going to come in late. They're going to throw the elbows. They're going to do the things that they have to do because they're not going to win this game on talent.
Oh yeah, okay, you okay, foreshadowing.
But I picture if you face a team like that and you're the crew, I felt like what you should do is play quickly, like play quicker, and then let them foul you in the middle of the field. And then it's, like there just wasn't a lot of that. There wasn't a lot of like line breaking passes.
But if you allow them,
there was a lot of space in between. Like, go ahead.
I think the thing that if you possess the ball in the middle and cough it up in the middle, you're playing into their system of high press, counter, and come back at you. So if you cough it up in the middle, you're toast. So we saw a lot more of the wide play in this game, and I think that was definitely by design. I think Nancy was mitigating, the danger. And he was saying, no, we want to push these channels on the outside because
New York was playing through the middle. Like when they would be, their offensive movement was through the middle of the field. So yeah,
Yep.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. What's next? You want to talk the Red Bull goal?
Ooh, the hairless wonder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
That was 38th minute. So 19 minutes later, right? Because I do math.
Numbers
talk us
guy.
through that
Great
one.
math.
I'm kind of
Yeah.
a numbers
Thanks
guy.
for-
Okay, so just 38. Take
Red
us away.
Bull, they move the ball out to the left side. Amaya plays Fernandez through the Crew's back line towards the end line. He gets a cross off towards the penalty spot, and Elias Manuel gets his head on it and puts it past Schulte. I thought it kind of seemed like Amundsen was caught ball watching. And there was that, like we've talked about with so many of the goals that have been scored
Yeah.
on the Crew, there's that space between the back line and the midfield where there was just a bunch of nothing. So he was able to get a running head
That's just
start
what-
on that
yep.
header goal.
I love hearing Haas inject a little subjectivity into the recap. I love that. And also the force with which that header. I mean, it looked like T-ball or something. Like that dude just got
Explain
up,
T-ball.
Oh, it's like when you take your pot of tea and you no, like the force with which he put that in was it was impressive. So yeah, he
There
had
wasn't
space.
a lot Schulte could do. Yeah.
He had space.
No. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's just that it was frustrating because he just created, he stopped running. He got that space for himself, and the header was good. It was down. Bummer.
And he
do wanna say
flattened
that before
Amundsen.
that.
He took
Yeah.
him out. I mean,
Yeah.
Yep. So
I felt like it was coming. Did anybody else? Did you feel that in the stadium? Like, it felt like I was like,
yeah.
man, they're getting
You
some.
felt
I
it
mean, at
coming?
the end of the game,
Well, we almost
Yeah.
gave him one like 5 minutes before that. We tried to feed one. Well, we decided not to take a ball that just bounced through, and luckily Schulte was aware and came out and blocked it. So
Yeah.
I mean, we could have been giving up that goal 5 minutes earlier or 2 minutes earlier. I don't know when it was, but it kind of started feeling a little bit like that because I remember I was going to go for a beer and I was thinking it might be a good time now because I feel like nothing good's going to happen right now.
yeah.
Did you mention
I just wonder because
the Amundsen and Moreira miscommunication where they almost scored just before that? Is that what you were referencing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you're
That's what I
saying.
meant.
Yep.
yeah. Yeah. That
But
was
that's
bad.
kind of it. That's kind of another thesis I had on this game, which before I was saying, well, there's no way you don't start our back three. They're doing really well. And this game, I actually felt for the first time like, okay, maybe it's time to have Degenek back, move Moreira to the side, like get some of that. It just felt like they were disjointed a lot this game. Like they were put under pressure and they didn't handle it.
I
very
felt like
well.
last episode when we
And I
were
was like,
talking about
okay,
this game, all of you guys were saying that those three should start, and I was the only one saying that a real center back needs to be in there.
No, I still think
Ben
that. I still
agreed
think
with you.
Okay.
I was just yelling oddly. So
No, I said
Man, Haas
you
has
start
been
with
sitting on that. He's been sitting on that for a full day, just waiting to lob that out there.
I mean, I still felt that way going into the game.
And now he's completely wrong, and he has no idea what to do. He's like,
I mean, and then in the
sorry, I went a little
in the
hard on
40th
it.
minute, New York almost gets another header goal, and it's because no one, no tall people in the back for the crew.
Yeah, they had some beef. That was a beefy Bulls. You know what I mean? It was a beefy team.
The average height of that team at the end of the game.
If it's numbers, Mars has to say it.
Yeah, they
10.
I don't know what it was. So Mars, yeah, it was 10. They had a bunch of big dudes out on that field at the end of the game.
Yeah. I mean, they outshot us in the total of the game, like 13-6.
Oh yeah,
And their XG was higher. I mean,
totally lopsided.
It was
that's why we had
we only had 2 corners in the whole game, and both of them were played short. Neither of them put into the air.
Yep.
Shortness factor.
Yeah, but that's by design. Yeah, but also like just lobbing a ball in there, I don't think we had stood a chance. Like
that's what I'm saying. With the people on the field, I agree with you.
Yeah, Zawadzki's magic, but I don't know. So yeah, at halftime, I was like, I wasn't feeling like super pumped. I was like, well, my hope was that they would go in and come out and be a little bit more snappy. I opened up Reddit and the twits, and that's pretty much the consensus everybody had as well. Like, it just felt like we were playing slow. But again, maybe we weren't. It was just kind of by design and getting it up the sides and not really putting ourselves out there. So
I just think they weren't playing through Lucas like they have been the last few weeks.
Yeah, because normally he drops. He drops.
Find a good way
back
to
and fills up
neutralize him.
space.
So let's hop to the second half. What changes did you see? I mean, we didn't make any subs or anything. It was kind of slow.
Of course we did. Come on.
What? No.
Yeah, subs really aren't our.
No.
Only sub we had time this year.
Quentin wasn't on. So we didn't sub anyone. But I mean, what do you think about the form coming out of halftime?
It wasn't as snappy as I wanted it, or I was hoping. Yeah, I'm trying to think.
No, they came out.
wasn't-
I feel like we were right on. I think the first thing we did was give up the ball and almost they coming up and almost scoring on us or something.
Right?
Just
Okay,
how
that's
it
like
felt.
yeah.
Yeah, I felt like we were kind of like the same thing coming out where we doesn't seem like we're all in sync, and they just seem to have a little more of that wave after wave kind of. Okay, they were chasing it
Yeah.
much more than we were. That's how I felt it. I mean,
Yeah, and I think that's probably pretty accurate. At least that's what it felt like. It just felt like I was hoping the communication would stop. We'd be creating space. We'd be playing quicker. We'd be playing quicker with our feet, and it didn't seem that way. And it wasn't bad. We weren't very bad. We weren't like giving up the ball as much as probably other teams do, especially on like a high full press. But it wasn't as snap. I was just hoping to get it up into their final third quicker, like get it at Zelly's feet, get it at Cucho's feet quicker.
No, we were
and
pushed back.
It still continued not to happen. Yeah.
So I just know from
what
where
do you
I'm
do when
sitting.
they do that? Like, how do you break that?
I don't know. We couldn't seem like to get out at all because I know because of where we
Right.
sit in the stadium. The game was right in front of me in the second half, and I'm sitting halfway up on the north end. So meaning that we were pushed back the entire time, and every now and then we had some long balls. We can not possibly have had many chances in that second half, outside of the goal and a couple of others.
Like Ben said,
And they had a huge chance after 53 minutes where Schulte had a huge save like down to the left. That's a hard save to make. Where they
that
were
was a
about to
great
score on
save.
us.
It's 6 shots all game and 3 on target. So then what led to that second goal, 62nd minute? I mean, and maybe you tell me if there's something here, but you guys are talking about how do you break that down? How do you solve that problem? I see a Yeboah goal assist from Farsi, right? Like these are two guys who are typically more foundational than at the top of our structure. So is there something there, or is it just the happenstance of that play? And were things looking better leading up to the goal?
Against the run of
Yeah,
play, I think
break
it
down
goes
that
under,
goal.
Well, and
I would say.
in the 58th minute, just before the goal,
Yeah, I mean the goal was. How did
Farsi was outright
It's a beaut.
with Zelarayan, and Farsi crossed the ball into Matan, and Matan blasted it into Reyes' stomach, and there was a big stoppage in the game because Reyes went down.
Yeah.
Cucho was furious that
yeah.
they stopped the game because we still possessed the
Never.
ball.
It
and
should be.
between that,
Yeah, in the 18.
yes, between that moment and when they restart the game, so they restart the game in basically the 62nd minute, Reyes is still off the field, and they drop the ball to Cucho. Him and Cucho and Farsi pass the ball back and forth a few times, and then Cucho does his little chip scoop pass over the defender's legs to Farsi.
It's a beaut. It's so nice.
Yeah, that's the
Filth.
magic in this
It's
play.
filth.
And Farsi's headed
Yeah.
towards the end line. He crosses it to the far side of the back side of the box, where Yeboah, I can't speak, where Yeboah volleys it at the keeper, and he just can't hold on to it, and it goes in the net.
It's a
Yep.
good looking
Yeah, it's a
goal.
beaut. It was a good looking goal. I mean, it looked like first time it looked like more of a goalie error. The second time around, it's he got hands on it and it just happens to get by. So it wasn't I wouldn't call it a blooper or an error on the goalie. It was just a little too much for him to keep it out.
Should have
But
done
to your
better,
point,
but
I
I'm
think-
glad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad Yeboah scored. The way he's been playing his form, it's just nice to have something pay off. But I still think the goalie
it
probably should
was
have done better,
definitely
but hey.
a short-lived excitement, though. That's for sure.
Yes, very short-lived.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
yes.
That whole timeline.
Yeah. The smoke was still on the field when this happened.
Trey is really pushing us forward now. It's get to the point, get to the next one.
Trey,
It's
what
taking too
happened
long.
next, Trey?
So they're coming forward, and I believe it is Hernandez. Is that who it is that breaks through?
Yep.
I'm watching it right now.
I take your word for it.
Amundsen plays it back. Fernandez like goes through, cuts the ball. Schulte sticks the leg out to try and get it. Doesn't get him. Doesn't get the ball. Gets 100% the player.
Oh yeah.
They get a PK in the 64th minute, and the Hairless Wonder shoots it wide.
Post of the match.
On the outside.
Post of the match day.
So that was very unclear to us there because there was so much stuff happening after the penalty, so they never really showed it. And when it came to afterwards, they started showing like the birthday greetings on the screen instead of like the highlights. And I was like, show the highlights. It's like, happy birthday, John.
Good job. Happy birthday, Tony.
Now Mildred is turning 107.
And the funny thing is also on the penalty, it was one of those, the whole crowd was like, what? That's not a penalty. And they showed it on the screen. Everybody's like, oh yeah,
it was.
Yeah, it 1,000%.
They were,
but I tell you, it was loud when he took that penalty.
I heard
it was as loud as it possibly could get in that stadium. Everybody was like on their feet. It was pretty.
Everybody was saying like all over the socials, like the loudest that stadium has ever been when he missed that penalty. Like the roar, people were saying they could hear it from like miles away downtown. I'm like, that's pretty cool.
Well, and it would have been close because Schulte had it covered. I'm just not sure if he would have got there in time if the ball would have been inside the post.
Yeah.
So it never clear to me if he saved it or not. When we
no, it definitely went off the outside of the post.
Yeah, it was woodwork.
But it would have been a good save. Like he was there. Like it would have.
He might have been there.
Yeah.
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 But we're still holding 2-1 advantage moving forward.
Yeah. So we had a sub for Red Bull shortly thereafter. Mid for mid. Let's see. Sawatsky got a yellow 72nd minute.
Yeah.
Anything there? No. More subs. Red Bulls. More subs. Looks like. Oh, we brought in Deganek.
Yeah. They used all of their subs by the time we did our first sub.
That's not uncommon, though, right? I feel like we keep saying that.
No, but actually it's interesting, though, because we're early. Because I was just saying, I had a discussion saying, like, are we going to sub? It's like, no, we're not going to sub. I just read my lips. We're not going to sub before the 83rd minute. And then we subbed earlier. And I was like, damn.
Interesting.
I was wrong.
Interesting. It was Deganek for Ramirez.
Yeah, so they subbed in Deganek.
Yeah, going to a back four.
Yeah. Moreira moved to the right center back. Zawadsky moved to the midfield. And Matan moved forward.
Hey, to that point, you talked about how you want, like the defenders to play defense and all that. There was a sequence earlier on there where it was a 1-on-1 with Moreira, and I can't remember who it was, Manuel or whatever who it was. And he just handled it so nicely, dispossessed it.
Got in front of him.
And it got in front of it and actually ended up with the ball. And I was like, okay, if that was Quinton, we definitely would have.
I think that was like
no, I hate on Quinton,
minute.
but it was right before. Yeah, it was pretty early on there, but it was like one of those everybody's like. But then Deganek came out, and he did some sweet little details as well.
The pullback.
He had one where he just he pulled it back and went the opposite way, and it was like, oh, you haven't played in like 8 weeks, 9 weeks, dude.
Oh, I loved it.
Kudos.
It was awesome.
Love it.
I don't remember him doing that type of stuff prior to his injury. He did it like 2 or 3 times this game, and I'm like, didn't realize we had Lionel Messi in the back line.
No, he was sweetening you. He was sweetening you up. He was
Lionel Milos. See,
yeah, he wanted to make sure that y'all knew that he's still in the mix, right? I mean, he heard that we're sitting around, except for Haas, of course, saying that we should stick with what we have, and. He had. I think there's some proving to do, right? When you come back, I mean, who knows whether Eloy Room will ever, wear a Crew jersey in goal again, right? So
more like Eloy Whom. I just thought of that.
Yeah.
Boom.
But we got it on tape.
Well, it's
boom.
Said no one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of boom, how about Amaya 80? What was that? 82nd minute? 80th. Yeah. 80th minute.
All right. Red card, right? Can we just move on after that? Like 100% a red card.
I can't believe that they went and looked at it and didn't change it.
Did everybody freeze?
Oh yeah, that was the
announcers. The announcers were like, "What?"
Well, okay, hold on.
You should listen to the announcers. They were like completely shocked.
What I did listen to in run of play. It was on. So what?
Yeah.
Was it on? Zawatsky. It
Zawatsky.
sounded like you heard him, like you could turn that down and
The Wilhelm scream.
Yeah, like it was as if someone like I don't know. It was a weird sound.
Like,
As if someone
Right, yeah.
elbowed him
Yeah,
in
it
the
was
neck.
almost like that.
President Lincoln
Somebody elbowed
Yeah,
his-
but the video, I don't think the video
he
did
has
it justice.
Oh,
I thought it looked a little soft.
even in 360, they discussed it and said red card. Definitely.
I gotta play devil's advocate. That 1000% was a red card. Sorry,
No, so you're agreeing with all of it.
Yeah, okay.
You agree with the rest of us?
Then I'm the one. I wasn't too impressed. I thought the replay was like it looked a little soft, except for that dying squeal that I heard like in run up play.
No, there was an angle they had on the highlights later. They never showed on the screen at the stadium. If it had shown that on the screen in the stadium, the reaction would be totally different. We only saw that quick one where he kind of like from behind you run by and he kind of fell down. You can see.
Yeah,
there's another one where you see from the back where he extends the elbow out like this.
There's one from the front that they showed on.
I mean,
And to my point is the fact that had he gotten that red card, I think we would have been more dominant and get that third goal.
Yeah, it's
which
all
was
to serve
very
your
critical.
prediction. Right?
No, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just talking about what it should have been.
Yeah. Okay.
you know what I'm
got that
enjoying
Mars money.
is Frankie Amaya bullying his way out of Cincinnati, ends up with Red Bull. So he goes from the wooden spoon in Cincinnati as the worst team to now playing with Red Bull, who are one of the worst teams. And had he stayed in Cincinnati, he'd be riding high up on the mountain. Instead, he's stuck on
He
a
wouldn't be
loser
playing.
because guess what?
Was it on this show?
We don't like him.
Was
I don't
it
like
was
him.
it on here that we were talking about if you meet one person who's a jerk, they're a jerk, but if everyone you meet is a jerk, then you're the jerk.
You're the jerk.
Yeah.
So were we talking about that
Yeah.
last week? I think that's a
No,
nice way of
but-
putting it. Anyway, he's a jerk. Okay,
I
so
said the common denominator. That's what I like to live by.
yeah, so fine, yeah, give him a red card. I'm good with that. But that was not the case. Anything else to say? We made a few more subs.
Yeah, their keeper was dirty at the end on the corner kick where he
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
kicked
hit
him, didn't
him in the head,
in
right?
the back of the head.
Oh
Yeah, that's what I thought.
yeah. They brought him up.
Drags his leg
Yeah.
to purposely like drag it into the back of Schulte's head.
That guy was
Just like-
100% cootie. Like, what the heck, man? That guy creeped me out, and I was watching on TV. I was like,
Because of his
"Ugh,
face and
I
stuff.
don't think, like the way he looked.
But he did get a yellow
It's
card. I didn't
disgusting.
see that during the game. That he did get a yellow
Probably 'cause
card.
his
in that,
haircut
Yeah, I
sucks.
was gonna say he should have gotten a yellow card just for his whole vibe, and then just be
Yeah.
It starts with a yellow.
yeah.
Yeah. And they brought on Van Zier, the guy we talked about
Oh,
earlier.
yeah.
with his
He got
tucked-in
it
shirt,
for
and I'm like,
dis-
oh
he
man,
got it
I'm
for
surprised.
dissent.
What's that for
Manzier.
dissent, not for that?
Yeah, he didn't even get it for the kick. He got it for
dissent.
dissent.
But I thought it was like I thought that was
What a
kind of like
turd.
never been a goalkeeper, but I think that was kind of like you have kind of the
Never been a
goalkeepers.
goalkeeper.
Yeah, like isn't there like a goalkeeper club that like
Yeah,
you
what
don't
do you call it? Like a creed or
Click?
something like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
That you don't mess with the other goalkeeper and all
Yeah,
that.
you would at least think that you would understand the norms and mores of the whole.
And I know
like,
Schulte
of the whole
was
goalkeeper.
fouled
And
on
like
that.
not kicking people in the
Right,
head.
right.
I mean, I don't-
Right.
yeah.
He needs to hold that ball though. I mean, I think it went out of bounds, in a bounce, a free kick or whatever it was. It was never an issue. But the last corner kick, he lets go of the ball again.
For a second,
Like in the air there,
like
for a
little
second.
goofy hands.
But I don't realize how big of a guy he is. He's a big
6'3"?
Who Schulte?
dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's 6'2" or 6'3".
He's 6'6".
he must be at least that.
He's 6'6". Are you lying to me?
Maybe he was
No, I think
standing.
he is.
Maybe he was standing next to Matan. I don't know.
You guys
No,
need a
he's-
number?
he's
I'll give
tall.
you a number. You need a number?
Hit me with a number.
17.
Yeah, to put a pin in the game.
He's 17.
Yeah, to put a pin in the
years
game,
old.
I think ultimately, I think it's good that we were able to like. It felt like they were pouring it on at the end, and usually, especially like when we played City and stuff, because we didn't have like a 2-goal cushion, we struggled, and it's nice to be able to like actually put away put away a team and not like give up a goal in the last 5 minutes, which felt, it felt like it was coming and it never came. And I was like, good, great.
You're all about the feels
We
tonight.
have grit.
No, the fight on this team to stick this out at home and pull through was good. It was really good.
Schulte's 6'3".
He's 6'5".
Who said
He must be
6'3" earlier?
6'5".
Oh, that's right. Me.
Wikipedia.
He's
No
6'5".
Wikipedia says
It's no way that he's 6'3".
MLS Soccer has him at 6'5".
Yeah, he's 6'5".
who's
He's a young player. He might be growing still.
Going
Dong
with
Arbor.
the corporate people.
Yeah, this could be an old stat, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe he was born
know.
Maybe still
6'3",
growing.
and now he's.
That makes way more sense.
I just remember being pissed off because Schulte and Quentin could not clear a ball, and they both got beat in the Miami game.
I seem like they've been working on some of that. I see him on the corner kick. There's a different attitude to this team on the defensive corner kicks now.
They didn't.
than it has
Again, they called before, like they stopped the game before the first corner kick when they were like, pushing each other and whatnot. I was like,
Well,
cool.
and Schulte's clearing
that's
the ball
exactly
more.
right.
He's not afraid to clear it. He doesn't have to play out of the back every time.
been. Yeah.
That's because
When it out,
because
knock
they
it out.
have a contractual obligation to say sweeper keeper at least 5 times per game, and so if he doesn't do the work, then they can't say the thing. And
To be fair for them,
Absolutely
at the end of the game, there was a couple of times where I swear he holds the ball for like 30 seconds. Their forward is standing there like counting it, like
yeah,
it's like how many minutes, like seconds, and he keeps holding. I was like, and then he started correcting his shoes or whatever else. And
Yeah.
I'm like, man, he must have
Shoes
been
are
holding
tough.
him for that for like 30 seconds because he's smart. They never call that shit anymore. It was like the last time the
barely
referee
ever.
came out and be like, yeah, hurry up a little bit, which bought him another 5 seconds.
and he's on
you
a
know?
yellow, so I don't think he's going to give him another yellow. It felt like
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Well, we've
All right,
gone
cool.
pretty
good
long
win.
here. Let's tan the channels. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we will look forward to this week's games. We'll be right, Trap.
This episode of the Upper 90 Club is brought to you, as always, by Supporter Supply Company. Hi, friends, this is your good pal Morgan Hughes, here to talk to you about a serious issue facing 96% of all crew supporters in Columbus. Why, not enough free shipping, of course. For a limited time now, through the eventual heat death of the universe, Upper 90 Club listeners can use the promo code Upper90Boys. That's boys with a Z on the end of it, at checkout for free delivery on absolutely any order over $10. But Morgan, what if I order $10 worth of stickers, or those goddamned buttons, or some other combination of small items that make you want to kill yourself? Will the free shipping still apply then, even as you curse our family, while you package up our little tiny annoying ass order for us? Of course it will. That's just how much we here at Supporter Supply value our friends at the Upper 90 Club. So head on over to supportersupply.co and use the promo code Upper90Boys. That's boys with a Z at checkout for free shipping on all your orders over $10. And don't forget to tell them that your friends at the Upper 90 Club sent ya.
All right, we're officially back. We have tanned the channels. I do want to congratulate Ryan Wilbur. He's 1/3 of the way to our Mellow Yellow Jersey Challenge. And those Mellow Yellow jerseys look great. I've seen them on the broadcast.
I've seen them on Haas.
They look way better than the Mellow Yellow knockoff jerseys that the Red Bull were, for some reason, wearing in our stadium. Hiss. That's exactly right. Yeah, Mort was hissing.
Not Red Bulls.
Oh, well,
Yeah, if anybody
I thought
has
you were
a yellow
hissing,
jersey,
and I'll take that.
That should not
The
be.
drinks.
They should not have it
Yeah,
in our
that's
stadium.
Okay. So before we get into predictions, let's kind of go around the horn and talk about any other updates that are going on. Just real quick, I want to talk about just a couple of the other results that happened in the last week. I mean, above us in the table are Cincy and New England. They tied 2-2. I think that's worth
Yep,
mentioning.
good result.
That's good.
Yep.
And then I saw earlier today, Atlanta took down Philadelphia
Beating
2-0.
Yeah.
So, all good. Making our points even more valuable. that we're picking up here in the last several games consecutively. I see a note here about our international
They
players.
actually put us up to it pushed us up to 4th place on
Dang.
goal differential.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. I hadn't seen the
Worth
table
mentioning
yet
too.
since that result. but-
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
just looking up the table. Why do I not see the table?
We're sitting at the same record at 10-6-4 as Philadelphia. Moved above them.
Wow.
Mhm.
And we are still number 1 in the league with 40 goals scored.
Nice.
Which is
Big rock.
crazy.
And Cucho he's still shooting. Still, he's up to 117.
St. Louis has 39. I
Uh,
didn't realize anyone was even that close.
Mm-mm.
But I think a lot of that was the first
They scored like
half the
first
season.
3 games. They scored
Yeah.
like
7 goals a game.
Yep.
The other team was also scoring.
You were
for them.
saying, Mars?
I was actually gonna throw it over to our chief international correspondent and host of the Yanks podcast episode forthcoming.
Co-host.
Go ahead.
All right.
Co-host.
We all host. We're all family here.
Okay. All
When
right.
you're here, you're family.
Your modesty has interrupted me. So tell us about the
Thank you.
tell us about what's going on with some of our players who are playing abroad.
Well, they're not playing abroad; they're playing here.
Here.
So that's so that's part of it. But so Aiden was playing for the U.S. team, and
All the games are
Yeah,
in the
we got-
US?
yes, the
Yes.
games are in the U.S.
Yeah.
All of them?
Yep.
All
All
of
of them.
All right.
I would say all of them.
And definitely none overseas.
Yeah,
Nope.
over lakes.
How did they
Over the-
Possibly
Well, okay, so
rivers.
like ignorance is on full display here, but like these are national teams. All the games are played in the United States.
For the Gold Cup. It's
It's the Gold
CONCACAF.
Cup.
It's the Gold Cup.
Yes.
Okay.
So overseas would be if we went to Jamaica and Florence.
But for some reason, Qatar is in
It's
there.
just like yeah, well, yeah.
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 Qatar is
blew
also
the door
playing in
in.
the United States against Mexico, or like
Yeah, and they're winning 1-0 as we
Don't
speak.
start
in the
this.
United
It-
States.
It's called money.
Please tune in to Yanks, and we will discuss
All
this
right.
in further
All
detail.
right. Hey,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know things also. All right, Ben, tan the channels. Tell
Yeah.
us more.
yeah, 3 times. Biggest news is Aiden departed the U.S. men's national team camp probably yesterday. We got the news today based on personal reasons, so we wish him all the best. Also, we were talking off air if he's going to be back probably for the Miami game or the New York City New York City FC game. So we will see. And also, Canada may be eliminated, so we'll get JRR back.
He had a rough
And
go
definitely-
anyway with Canada.
Yeah, and definitely
Yeah.
Kevin Molina will be back because they're definitely out.
Yeah, and he's healthy because he has all the minutes for Trinidad.
Healthy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
healthy.
Healthy. Yeah.
No, we
I do.
We want to see him
Yes,
as an
but-
option.
Oh yeah,
It's
indeed.
been a struggle.
He's a
for
good
him.
player. Struggle bus. I'm not sure where he fits in
Yeah.
the team, but yeah.
Is it always
So
in
that's
the
kind of
U.S.?
where we're at.
It's all the games are always in
For
the
the Gold
US?
Cup, it
For
could
the
be
Gold Cup,
anywhere in
For the Gold
CONCACAF,
Cup,
but
yes.
typically it's the U.S.
Huh.
it's usually the
How
U.S.
hospitable. Okay,
It could be in Trinidad and Tobago.
but it's in neither. We've established that.
Correct.
The likelihood that it would be in either seems to be low. Okay, so
Could be in
and
Tobago.
then also since we started recording, Chicago Fire 2 beat Crew 2. I think Bird is still on paternal bird duty.
He is not. He actually just sent me
What?
the recap. So yeah, for
Man.
yeah.
Can we just cut to him right
So-
now? Cut to Bird right
Yeah,
now.
we'll cut to him right now. He hates
And
his kid.
go.
Hey guys, thanks for having me again. I'm sorry that I had to miss last week, but I think I had a good reason. As the Crew 2 was playing, my baby was being born, and so I wasn't able to watch the game. But happy to say that it was a really good weekend for me. We had a great Crew victory over Nashville, and then the Crew 2 also won versus Huntsville, and then my baby was born very, very healthy. So, happy days here. Unfortunately, the game on Sunday for Crew 2 was not a happy one. It was a very poor performance by the Capys, and possibly the worst one we've seen so far. It seems like we're having some of this lows this season, probably due to a lot of squad turnover. But also, I think that the Chicago coach really knows how to disassemble Laurent Courtois' formations and tactics, and he's done twice this season already. But yeah, the game started with the Capys being completely unable to overcome the Chicago press. Chicago was being extremely aggressive. They were putting 4, sometimes even 5 players right at the line of our box for goal kicks. We were unable to basically get past the midfield for the entire first half. And it was unfortunate, I think, it was unfortunate that Marco Micheledo re-injured himself in the very beginning of the game, because I think that he was the key piece in there to be able to maintain the ball in the midfield, and not having him really affected us. He was subbed by Gannon, who is a great player, but who is doesn't have the ability to create and control the pace of the game and control possession like Micheledo does. So I was actually surprised that Chicago didn't score in the first half. They had plenty of chances. They completely dominated us. And then they did eventually score on the 53rd and 56th minute. And it was due, to be honest, their domination continued. Once they had scored, Laurent made a couple good subs. He put Taha Habron in, and Taha had what was probably his best performance so far for the crew too. He was able to come in and help maintain possession and help create opportunities for our attack, but also his ability to dribble in the midfield was what made us be able to break from that pressure. He also helped the Chicago being 2 goals ahead, didn't need to pressure as much. So in the end, we were able to create good opportunities. None of them went into the goal. Stanislav Lapkus had another great game. I'm so excited to see him develop as a goalie for the crew. I think that we have with him, Brady Scott, and Pat Shoto. I can't say his last name. A really good contingent of young, talented goalkeepers coming in for the first team. But yeah, a bad game, bad result, but we keep our heads up. This is a team that has a lot of key injuries that are coming back soon, and I expect that we'll go back to form starting next week. All right, thanks guys, and have a good one.
Thanks, Bird. Obviously, I haven't listened to what you sent because you sent it in the middle of me talking about you not sending it. So 2-0 loss. That's tough. Also, I want to just go back. Like, always in the U.S., and it's called the Gold Cup. Is that like a Donald Trump
The gold
thing?
standard.
Okay, all right.
It was before that.
All right. Okay.
Ronald Trump. His
They also have a Spanish name.
He was a goalkeeper.
Okay.
Doro.
All right.
And cricket.
What else do we have? Predictions. Miami on Tuesday, July 4th. It's the 4th of July.
It is Mio.
America.
Yeah, it's definitely the 4th on a Tuesday.
Okay.
No worries about that.
And it's odd, right? I mean, it's just like a few days break. It must just be because of the holiday, right? They're doing a 4th. Actually, I think there's a lot of games on that day, right?
We're just squeezing in games because of Leagues Cup.
No, I think it's related to America.
America?
Man. Yeah, same reason why, I just learned that the Gold Cup is all in America. It's just like...
This is America's game. We have to play it on
right.
the
But it's also
beautiful America
because of Leagues Cup. Mm-hmm. Taking a month off of playing. It's definitely because of that.
Oz, you flip-flopped on me, man. In the break, I had you. You said you were going to back me up on that, and now you've gone and changed alliances. Okay. All right. So today is Sunday. A couple days, Allegedly. We're going to play in Miami. Will Smith, LeBron James, Scarface,
Messi.
Any of these? Messi. Not quite yet. Not quite yet. He doesn't make the list yet.
He might be there.
Going on a cruise.
They said it was hard to get tickets. There was someone in the crew that posted that it was really hard to get tickets, away tickets for that game. Virtually impossible.
Yep. I heard the
really? Like it's sold out.
Yep.
Like
The
even for
Messi
the
effect is a real
players,
thing.
it was hard. You said a player said it was hard to get a ticket.
No. It was the crew. Yeah.
Well, Miami is currently
For the
in
flight down.
15th place with 16 points,
There you go, Haas.
5 wins, 13 losses, 1 tie.
Yes, numbers.
Yeah, they're bad even if you bring in the West Coasts. I mean,
They're
the
second to last
Western.
in Supporter Shield standings.
Yeah.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah, Messi's
Anyways.
not really going to show up in time to do
He's not
anything,
supposed to play
right?
till
I mean,
the
they're not-
21st of July.
I'm still not entirely sure he's going to show up.
The only thing different will be what impact can Tata Martino have.
Yeah, that's a better shot.
They brought Martino in. He's actually a good coach.
Yes, he
Atlanta's
is.
former coach, Mexican international coach,
Which is an impossible job. Let's be honest.
Sure, yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what they bring to the table without the Argentinian man.
Do you know
of
if he
short
coached them
stature.
this weekend? Or will this be his first game?
I believe he did.
Okay, just curious.
I think he did.
That's a good question. I actually don't know.
Yeah, it's already listed as their coach, but I didn't check if he was actually coaching that game. But
And they lost? No, they tied.
yeah,
They tied.
Martino was on the bench in the game this weekend,
Okay.
so that's a tie.
So
Yeah, and it's been close. They of course took the 2-1 win here earlier this
that
year.
game.
That was brutal. And then they beat us last year in the fall. We beat them at home twice in a row before that, and they beat us. So it's really something that seems to go back and forth. It's a tight matchup, like every other matchup in MLS.
we got to win this game. We got
Yeah.
to win this game.
I'll take a result, but yeah, I don't
You're
know.
right. I believe a little bit in the Martino effect, but yeah.
Yeah.
So, we want to talk more about this game, or we want to go into to the next game, or are we just going to do prediction 1 and then talk?
Let's
the next one?
let's not just jump ahead. I think if we're gonna do predictions, we should spend a little time talking about the results from last week. Now, I'm not gonna make you repeat yourself after you
can
talk
skip
through what
this.
the results were last week, but
Here we
go through that and let's just see where the standings are now. Because I think that we have a new record for highest points in the table for the Upper 90 Club prediction
Most correct
table.
scores.
Points.
Every week is a new record. Every
I
week.
know what you're talking about.
You know what? I hold the
you
record
make it
for
sound there's
setting the
nothing
record.
special to-
Okay? Go ahead.
Okay, so for those who totally missed it and have made it to this point in the
I'm sorry.
podcast,
You can skip ahead.
this
5 minutes.
weekend Columbus Crew beat New York Red Bulls 2-1, and I believe everybody predicted a win. The only difference was that somebody counted on a red card to actually count, and actually it should be in 3-1. And somebody also said it should be 2-1 based on history, but I thought we were going to have like an extra goal. And well, the only one that got it right in the end was Mars. He had 2-1, which was the result. So everybody got 1 point, and Mars got 3 points, and then he get deducted 3 points for being way too cocky about it.
So congrats to everybody.
Yeah, congrats to everybody.
I
Good
have
job.
to say though, this
Good
this
job,
was-
everybody.
No,
Good job,
this is
everybody.
good job. This is
good.
good job, everybody. I'll tell you, this was a total team effort. If you go back and listen to last week, and I recommend that you do, to just you guys, none of the listeners, just you guys. Ben starts off by saying it's gonna be 2-1, and then like ends up at 2-0, and then more.
What?
You were like, oh, their average score over the last X games is 2-1.
2-1, but we're going to do
And
better
then
than that.
love
we're going to do
numbers.
better than that, 3-1. And I'm sitting here like, okay, I'm last. Yeah, 2-1 sounds
Yeah.
good. You have no one to blame but yourselves.
Wow.
So where am I in
Yeah.
the table?
You're on the table, and then Ben is number 2 in the table at 13 points, and Trey is sitting with 10, with 9, and Haas with 7. And yeah, you do have a new record of some number of points in the top of the table.
Can we just drop the new record thing?
Morton
No,
started
What
it
do you
in
mean? It's
first
still a new
place.
record.
Yeah.
I like
No, it's
I
not
like
gonna be.
I personally,
It's-
I like it.
It's a personal. It's the personal best. It's a season high and a record all time.
What?
16 points.
16. I love
Yes.
it.
Wow.
So yep.
So I'm
Yep.
only 3 points off.
You're only 3 points off.
And I'm 3 points off. You.
Haas is only 9 points off.
Hey,
But he's
I'm only
7
2 behind
points.
you.
That's like 20%.
And 3 behind Tracy.
All right.
Okay.
So
Numbers.
let's jump into
Lars
Miami.
loves these
Let's jump into Miami, and I'll go first.
Yeah.
I'll go first so that there's no dust up
Oh,
next
we
time
go
I
first.
leave you guys
Yeah.
in it. 3-0 Crew in Miami.
Ooh, okay.
Ben.
I'm gonna go 3-2. Let's get weird. Let's get
Who
weird.
will score?
3-2.
Who will score those 2 goals you're talking
3-2
about?
to
Okay.
One's an own goal, and then
Miami.
All right, Mort.
No, did he predict the loss?
No, a win.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think
I predicted 2-2 tie.
2-2 tie. Okay.
Wow.
All right, Trey.
2-1. Crew.
2-1 Crew. It's a good score line.
It's
I
a
know
very
it
good
well,
score.
and I think Ben knows it better than anyone.
Yeah, but I couldn't bring it.
I
the
really
stats
wanted
this
to do
time
2-1,
because it
but I didn't want to get yelled at.
Yeah, call it. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. All right. Haas.
I'm also doing 2-1.
Okay.
All right. Can I change mine now that he's
No.
I had it locked in
No.
before you said it.
I think you should
We'll
be-
go in a different order next time.
No,
Look,
it's totally
even if he
fine.
rides
I
your
just know his
coattails,
track
he'll
record this
still
year.
be behind you. So
But
Whatever
above
Haas says, it's like, oh no, can I change mine?
Hey.
okay.
There we go. Maybe we'll
all
have
right.
a big swing. There we go. Big swing.
So I'm taking a
the
chance
party
here
next door?
because all of you will get at
party
least a
next door.
point if we win.
Shirtless swinging party.
But too bad. It's. I just. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll take the tie away and we'll get it. And
Wait, you're changing?
'cause you're
You're
a far-
changing your score?
No,
now?
you're a far weather
No.
fan.
No, he can't change.
I'm a far weather fan. And go for 2-2.
2-2.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about NYCFC. Is there anything? We just played them moments ago.
Yeah, we hate
Yeah,
them
right.
still. Yep.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
We're going to
Not
be
a
playing
fan.
on a larger field.
Yep. Full size field. Grown ups field.
Grown-ups field. We're going to. Anything else going to be different?
I think that should be
No,
the name
didn't
of our
we
field.
have?
Grown ups field.
Wasn't Lucas out for that game?
with Armenia.
He was.
Yeah, he was in
That
Armenia.
was like a big
Yeah.
piece of the
Yeah.
whole calculus. Was like,
There's a chance Aiden will be back for this game too.
yeah.
Yeah, we want to talk about all the players that will and will not be there.
We can just mention. We will not pontificate. So, but Lucas will be likely. I mean, there's no reason to believe he would not be playing against New York City,
Better knock on some wood.
where he did not play a few weeks back when we had the late heartbreaker draw
Yep.
at Yankee Stadium. So, and that was our last non-win since we played Nashville.
the first time.
Gosh, 6-7 weeks ago. So,
that's right.
anything else to
We're doing
discuss
well.
about New York before
Wow.
we put it out there?
New York City is
Let's-
currently
yeah,
in
yeah, thank
11th
you.
place
Yes.
on 24
Got it.
points, 5 wins, 7 losses, 9 draws.
Oh man, you're so good at that. So good at
Is
reading
Caleb
those
Porter
numbers, baby.
the coach of the team because of the draws? Nailed it.
They're a draw team. We drew
'Cause of the
we drew
ties.
them. We drew them like Leo drew
Holy
Kate
crap, they have
Winslet.
a lot of ties.
Like one of your French women.
They have a lot of ties.
They do.
They're not very good right now.
No.
We're
Yeah,
just jinxing
okay.
ourselves.
Playing-
But they beat Montreal away.
yeah.
Montreal is not
Multiple
not
teams
bad.
on
No, they're
the outside of the playoff picture in a row. We got to
Okay. All right. Let's do it. Trey, you're going to be last. Let's see. Ben, go ahead.
What? I'm gonna go 1-1 tie.
1-1 tie. 1-1-1-1.
Our weather fan.
Okay. All right. Mort?
After a tie, we're coming back, fired up, 3-0.
3-0. Okay.
And
Haas
said
is
the same
mad
thing, I'm
because
guessing.
that was his score.
Allegedly.
He does like to 3-0.
Okay, so Haas is going to go
I'll go
3-1.
2-0. 2-0 crew.
2-0.
2-0 crew.
I like that.
You like that?
You sure that's like that?
I'll do.
No, you like 1-1.
I'll do two. I'll do
shut it.
2-1 again. I'll do 2-1 on this one. And Trey, go ahead.
1-0.
1-0.
Oh, double whammy. Double
slap in the
whammy.
face.
Oh,
Last
slap
home
in
game.
Morris's face.
Someone on
Look at
Twitter,
that.
I think maybe it was Connor, but he was like, I like all these 1-0 predictions. I'm like, yeah.
Hey, so hot
love
tip.
that.
Hot tip, guys. I don't actually belong to a sporting app, if that's how you say it. But betting.
No, we call it betting app.
Yeah.
Sports betting.
You know who is?
I
yeah.
I actually.
You know who does bet?
I'm not allowed to have access to any of our family credit cards, so it's just like,
Yeah. We don't even put out this podcast. This is actually just a meeting for you every week to be like, let's talk about your problems.
right.
I just used my Greif one.
Okay.
That's what I
okay.
used.
Okay. Well, but I had this
that
idea.
was grief.
I had this idea. Team Mars parlay 1.5 goals for the crew from here on out. If you do it and you win, send me part of your winnings because I am not able to make the bet myself.
He has history. You're not allowed to bet anymore.
Yeah. Back when I played online poker in the early aughts, that was enough for me. So,
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
A couple marriage later, and then
Yeah. So, did you got all those scores? Do you want to run through those or?
Oh, was I supposed to go write them down?
Yes.
Yes.
That
is your only job.
Okay. All right. So, let's see if I remember this right on top of my head then. So against Inter Miami, Haas said that we're going to win 2-1. Trey said the same thing.
Yep.
Actually, it was opposite.
Yep.
What
Ben
does
said
Inter
3-2.
mean?
Inter?
Like
International.
Milan?
International.
Inter Sandman.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
They actually got sued by Inter Milan. Just saying.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, when they named the team.
Yep.
Sure.
Just
That's a good. I want to look at that. That's actually.
And then they had to change the name from Milan to actually Miami. And then they got,
No, but Miami is an anagram for Milan. So
yeah, there we
Yes.
yes.
go.
Anagram.
Oh, there you go. Anagrams.
Totally.
Okay, I said 2-2 against Miami. Mars said that we go away and win 3-0.
yes,
And I
that
love
is
it.
what I said.
And going over to the home game against New York City FC, Haas, I think we're going to win 2-0. Trey said 1-0. Ben said 1-1. I said 3-0. Good score again right there. And then Mars said 2-1 for the 6th time this season.
I've said 2-1 for 6 times.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the only other thing I have to say is scoreboard.
That's a lie, but it's
I was
fine.
gonna
But it
say,
sounds better 6 times.
So yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, this is great. We got a 2-game week. We got the birthday of our sweet nation that we can celebrate. It's gonna be great. I can't wait. This has been.
We're gonna play Will Smith's team, and Will Smith was in Independence Day. Ooh, dude.
What
were we talking about? What were we talking about earlier? When Independence Day came up.
Not that.
When Independence Day came
We're
up.
talking about.
I think you were talking about Buffalo.
That's right.
Springfield
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
like,
Vietnam War movie.
Vietnam.
Yeah, Independence Day.
Yeah.
The most.
we were talking about Vietnam.
Aliens.
I'm seeing.
I told
1999.
a child today at the Independence Day party. I was like, you know what Independence Day is from, right? It's like, we got our independence. I'm like, that's right, from the aliens. And she was like, really? And I was like, yes.
Bill Paxton.
Bill
The
Pullman.
aliens came down
Bill
and we
Pullman.
won.
Randy Quaid. All right, let's leave on a high note and say, "Wake up,
Dead.
Vietnam!"
No.
That's the high note?
The Saturday match is free on Apple TV, by the way, for those of you not wanting to pay.
I don't know if that's going to help anybody, but everyone who's subscribed is definitely going to watch the game. What else do I say? Good morning, Columbus. Tan the channels. Go
Columbus Crew.
Go Crew.
Go Crew.
You'll have something to work with in there.
Thanks, everyone, for joining the club. We hope you'll listen next week and every week, even in the off-season, to celebrate or commiserate. We'll save you a seat. If you like this podcast, please give us 5 stars and subscribe. You can email us at upper90clubpod@gmail.com. That's upper90clubpod@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at upper90clubpod. Go Crew!
You guys totally cut me off at the knees. Just like, no, not a broad. Sorry, bro.
Nope. We don't want to sound stupid.
Yeah, we want you to sound stupid and be the only one. We want to make sure that you're the one.